Today, the UN Security Council is expected to end a decade-long peacekeeping mission in Mali. This after the ruling military junta asked the 13,000-member force to leave, quote, without delay. The UN vote follows years of tensions and government restrictions that complicated peacekeeping efforts. For more on the story, let's cross to New York and our UN correspondent, Jessica Le Masurier. Jessica, what can we expect from the Security Council meeting today?
Well, Council members are going to vote on this resolution, which essentially will end the UN mission in Mali that has been there for 10 years, the peacekeeping mission there. It's called MINUSMA. And the hope originally from the United Nations was that this mission's mandate would be extended. But then out of the blue, on the 16th of June, Mali's government requested that it be terminated as soon as possible. Now, this really caught the UN by surprise. According to many diplomats here, although relations with the government in Mali had been deteriorating, relations with the West and also relations with the United Nations, it was not expected that Mali would call so abruptly for the end of this mission. Now, this resolution calls for the mission to wind down over the next 6 months, but for the transition to begin as soon as Saturday. Really, it's been hard getting diplomats to talk openly about it. One Western diplomat on condition of anonymity said that, look, they're just now looking for the least horrible way to implement this resolution, because pulling out a 13,000-strong UN peacekeeping mission at such speed is really going to be something that will be a huge challenge. Normally it takes an awful lot longer for the UN to do something like that. But the fact is that once a host country says that a UN mission is not welcome, it is no longer allowed to stay.
But Jessica, the jihadist threat in Mali that these troops were helping protect against is not gone. So what will this mean for the country and its people?
Well, the consequences could be catastrophic, and that is what some diplomats have said to me, that they really fear for civilians in Mali, that a vacuum could be left with the pullout of MINUSMA. MINUSMA was helping to protect civilians in Mali. Who will do that now? Going from 13,000 blue helmets to everything being handed over, the protection of civilians being entirely handed over to the Malian forces and to Russian mercenaries does not bode well, especially when you look back, for example, at what happened last year. There was a massacre in central Mali in Moura that the UN investigated and reported was largely carried out by Russian mercenaries and the Malian military. And so this really doesn't bode well for civilians there. It also calls into question the fate of the peace deal that was agreed upon back in 2015. There are fears that rebel groups have said that they feel that this will be potentially the end of that peace deal, with the pullout of MINUSMA and with the lack of a UN force to help implement that peace deal.